Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ace Attorney. We are in what might be the final bout of this case. Uh, Recently we discovered that, and I'll let you pull it up. Through the discovery of the Aleph being faked, we now have to question Miss Cammy Meele about her testimony. Miss Meele? Miss Meele! Do you recall what you said earlier about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa? Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible. Because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa. Oh? Miss Cammy Meele. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did? No one can make a mistake so large, Miss Meele. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. Oh my god. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well. Miss Meele, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span, from just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, she's asleep. Oh, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Yeah, she's asleep again. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. That is the most boring-ass testimony ever. How is a man... How's a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meele, wake up! And goddamn. She fell asleep. She fell asleep immediately. Looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Alright.
Hold it!
Die. Miss Meele, wake up! I'm awake. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you do something about this flight attendant this instant. I asked me to wake her when you can finally put that whip to an appropriate use. The day tomorrow, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class and the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. Then what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating and having a most delicious dream. I mean, you were neglecting your duties. No way. Sleep's a part of our job too, you know. Right. Alright. I guess this is gonna be the same response. Miss Meele, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up! I'm awake. I'm awake. And gone again. Why did you... Sorry. Yeah, what did you whip me for, sir? Oh, what did I miss? Poor detective being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead. Really? Sorry about that. You can make amends for that by continuing with your testimony. And from 5 to 6, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Again? So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah. No one else even popped their head in to say hi. Oh. Well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. Miss Meele, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. There we go.
Take that!
I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meele. Huh? Receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Tennero bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tennero. Oh, sorry. Miss Tennero. Yes. Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have her locked up by now. I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase, after which I went straight to the attendant's room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meele there at that time? No. So, Miss Meele, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? And... Yep. Miss Cammy Meele. The bathroom? Probably the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know. You take me for a fool. It's a little too convenient to be true. That's the truth. Cross my heart. I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Alright. Reason for suspicion. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm the one with the crew, but you think then maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard and the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Oh my gosh, she's capable of a fully formed testimony. Please lift Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. Do you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Alright. Let's see. What the... I think my best bet is just press her some more. No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks also turned out to be a bunch of lies. But say I wasn't in attendance. You wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough. Oh, damn it. That provided nothing. But then you'd think you'd also suspect Miss Rhoda too. She is already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh, yeah, I guess I just forgot. Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. I can't believe that you'd think that. I mean, me, a killer? Miss Meele, what did you mean just by no one else who could have done it? No.
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meele? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. Oh, but I spent so much time in there. It might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borganian. She's the only one on this flight who is fluent. Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Borganian. She's fluent in Borganian. Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borganian? Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Borganian. It's very interesting. Oh. Wait. Yeah.
Objection!
Fuck you. So, you are the only one on this flight that speaks Borganian. Is that correct? God. Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Borgania for a while. If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose, to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Bourguignon is you, Miss Meele. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alfred could not have occurred. And to sleep. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There is no direct correlation, after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have strong motive to kill. I still can't figure out Francisca's voice. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there's some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Quit blowing bubbles. Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First, it was myself, and now it's Miss Tennero who is under the microscope. It seems to me that our killers go to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she is indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. Alright? This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tennero from the very beginning. It's gotta be the suitcase, right?
Take that!
The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tennero for the murder. Miss Tennero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever was at hand adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. Special circumstances dictated the need for the killer to frame someone. Where? I'm guessing. Special circumstances simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tennero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminals and movements is not Miss Tennero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Meele. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And? You done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture? The missing cell phone? I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing, and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks' cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks' cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we? Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Hicks' phone! It's ringing from somewhere, sir! I hear it, Detective. Now where is it coming from? Suitcase? Sounds like the phone is up in the flight attendant's room. You'd better hurry to the flight attendant's room, sir. Oh. The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. Boxes. Doesn't seem like the phone got mixed in with the items in this lost and found pile. Well, it's not like the victim would have just dropped it somewhere, right, sir? Is it in the trash here? Some seem to be over here. It looks like somewhere else, sir. Oh, wait, someone put it in our locker, didn't they? The ring is coming from in here, sir. What? No, it can't be. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? So, Miss Jedgeworth, how did it go? Where'd you find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Go to Tenero. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. Was it me? This phone karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the key card. When the killer went to steal the key card, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time.
Objection!
Oh, what? This is related to the key card, all right? In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. Oh, why are you against me all of a sudden? The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Francisca's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then, why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? He must have something very incriminating on it, or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. It's definitely broken. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Oh, hello. This must be the switch that opens the phone. Peekaboo. When did they start putting keyboards like these into cell phones? Hey, this is one of those computer cell phones that they started selling recently. Computer cell phones? Yeah, it's got a computer in it, and it's a cell phone. Neat, huh, Miss Jedgeworth? All you need in a phone is the phone part, nothing more. I'm guessing yours can't even send out email. Talk about inconvenient. Do you have a problem with what I do and do not care for, Detective? No, sir. As they say, he's simple as best. Alright. It's a camera lens. Yeah, duh. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for his smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. But the phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. Can I go back to sleep now?
Objection!
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Francisca? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when it called, but meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still there inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francisca, your phone, if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. Hey, the olive red's nowhere in this picture. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Ouch, she's right. There's not much we can find out from this... There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks's killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? No, I see a very glaring issue. Is there nothing in this photo that we can use? Boxes of bed sheets. These are still in the cargo hold, though. There's nothing unusual about them in particular, but I can't shake the feeling. If you're just playing around, mind if I go home? Yes, I mind. What exactly is different between then and now? What's this? What's all this? Oh, they are cargo ship from Borginia to Zhengfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes written in Borginian. It says that it is cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What for is that scary face? Miss Meele? Yes? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. The Guinean cargo hold and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer.
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zhengfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right, the killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Cammy Meele. That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian. Unlikely as fuck. Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then... Logically, the killer would have opened this box first. The fucking bed sheets.
Take that!
Hey, It says bedsheets in English right on the box, sir. Precisely, and bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Burgundian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Burgundian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zhengfa. That's right. That is why the Burgundian cloth was used. And the only Burgundian raider on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Meele. You and you alone. Teddy, no, leave the teddy bear alone. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meele? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhengfa? Uh-oh. What bullshit you got this time? He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. He brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. Oh. I... Hell yeah. We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, Detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we even approached the top, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Hello. Mr. Edgeworth. I just want to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that, well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at GoYo Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now, I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go. That hairstyle of hers had to be a pain in the ass to make. It's like all squares and shit. I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy was it fun. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective? Can you cancel the car ad you reserved earlier? You got it, sir. Hope Springs Airport. Hello, small one. Francisca? I thought I told you when you first landed, I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time, however, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am? You are Francisco von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing Pierrot living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. True, your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. God damn. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there's another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents, and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back, in full. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness. I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Aw, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Oh, I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Francisca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office? Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known throughout the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. Ah, finally. I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Ah, have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? Mr. Amano? Ernest Amano, correct? Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son. He's been kidnapped. Oh. And that's the end of that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in Chapter 3.